So, the Easter prophecy. Now, you put that right. Okay. So the prophecy is, you will not sacrifice the Passover. Remember, Jesus is our Passover within the gates. Okay? You won't be able to do that. Years later, Jesus also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered outside the gate, without the gate. Now, if something was deemed unholy or unworthy, they would put it outside the gate. You're not worthy to enter Jerusalem. But not realizing that, they fulfilled the prophecy in Deuteronomy. They never understood their own Bible. They didn't understand their own prophecies. Pretending themselves to be wise, they became fools. Now, this is Golgotha. You know, we sing Calvary. We sung it this morning, Calvary, Calvary. That's their Latin name for it. Was located outside of the city walls of ancient Jerusalem during the time of Jesus. It was a public execution site. So they wanted Jesus to be seen. See, we executed your hero. Now you'll forget all about him. That didn't quite work, did it? So God used their own foolishness against them. Now, it was near a road situated outside the city gates, like the prophecy said, which allowed for public viewing while maintaining the ritual purity of the city. Ritual purity, like it was purer if Jesus wasn't in there. Are you joking? Are they actually joking? Now, this is the Greek, the Latin, and the English. Okay? All four Gospels say that Jesus was crucified at the place of the skull. If you go there, you two went there, right? You both went. This is Skull Hill. The Greek word is granium, which we get the English word cranium. Okay? The word is translated Golgotha in Hebrew. This is where we get Calvary from. Calvary in Latin. Greek, Latin, Hebrew. A place of a skull. Now, why does it look like that? It looks like a man's face, right? This is the old, I'm going to freak you out now. This is the old picture. This is taken a long time ago. You see, this is a photo from, I don't know, 100 years ago, whenever, when photos first came out. They spotted the face. The face looks horrible, right? It looks stuff like this. But after Jesus was crucified on it, the face looks different. I'll show you. It eroded the skull, the face. The horrible face is gone. Is that symbolic? Are they saying because he crushed Satan? You see it there. I know now there's apartments there and stuff like that. Can you imagine being there? Now, look at the skull before and look at the skull afterwards. It's gone, right? It's not scary anymore. It's not scary. We see what Jesus did, right? He got rid of the thing that made people scared by being crucified. Now I'm going to freak you out even more. Can you see a snake here? Sticking out. Very hard to see, but can you see it? Oh, that's the viewing platform. So you stand on there and look at the skull. I don't know if you two... Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's exactly right. Okay, here we go. Remember about that snake part. I'll put enmity between thee and the woman, thy seed and her seed. It will bruise thy head. You shall bruise its heel. Very strange that there should be a snake sticking out that looks like it's been destroyed at the bottom. Very weird. Very weird. Okay, so we get back to it. So God says, but at the place which the Lord thy God shall choose to place his name in, there you shall sacrifice the Passover at even. Even is halfway between sunset and the evening. Okay? At the going down of the sun. Now, the sun sets in different amounts of time. Where we are and where Israel is, half an hour. Okay? For the sun to set. Why is that important? I'm going to show you a prophecy. The season that you came forth out of Egypt. Now, in the 14th day of the first month at evening, is the Lord's Passover. Whose Passover? The Lord's. The Lord will pass over. Death will pass over you at this time. On the 14th day of the first month. In the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. This is why we get Friday off. Okay, they call it Good Friday, but I'm going to explain. It's actually Thursday night. Now, in the first century, this is what they did. Okay, now to the Jews, for us, Friday starts at 12 o'clock in the morning. 12 a.m. is Friday to us, not in the Old Testament. The Jews kept it literally. This is Genesis. The evening and the morning were the first day. Which one comes first? Evening. So their Friday starts at 6 o'clock the last night. That's how it used to work. So people are confused. Was Jesus crucified Friday? But that means, how did he spend 3 nights in the tomb? Friday night, Saturday night? The Bible must be wrong. Can't be wrong. She's shaking her head. It can't be wrong. Okay? Thursday. The solar calendar is what we use today. We use the solar calendar. When the sun comes up, that's us. Okay? The Hebrew or lunar calendar uses the moon. Friday starts at 6 p.m. Thursday night. This has caused confusion. But what about Thursday night? And night becomes first, evening first, then the morning. This is when Jesus was crucified. I've got more proof. So, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, 3 nights. Friday, Saturday, and on the 3rd day I will rise again. Now, some very nice people make calendars and they work all this stuff out. God's put it in their heart to work it all out. So, Friday on the Jewish day starts on the Thursday, the day before. We see it here. Okay? The 14th day of the first month is the Passover. Okay? The Jews, because it was the preparation. Now, if you're going to have a Sabbath day, you have to prepare. It used to work for Jews, right? They can't turn on the cooker or the car. Some of them take it really seriously. Or the lights. Automatic lights. So I'm right, aren't I? Their one starts the night before. That's how it works, okay? For that Sabbath day was a high day. What does that mean? In the Bible, we know Sabbath days. But in the Jews, they had special Sabbath days. They're called high days, okay? How does that work? They're extremely super holy days, okay? I think they still do it. The super high days. Anyway, so what do we do? The day when Jesus was crucified was a double holy day. It's extra special. Very, very rare on a calendar. Okay? You're not allowed to work that day. The day before is that whole preparation. On the Thursday, this is why they wanted to break his legs. His friends wanted to break his legs, so they don't work on the Sabbath. With friends like that, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, for that said, besought Pilate that their legs might be broken and they might be taken away. Hello, son. Okay. So the friends are going, please, Pilate, can we break his legs so he dies quicker? Great friends, fantastic friends. But this is what it was. They wanted to keep everything holy and do it. There was no point prolonging the agony. Anyway. Yes. So it's exactly correct. Yes, it was a Friday, but the Friday starts on the Thursday night. Okay? Nisan is the name of their month. We call it March or April. Yeah, that's how we call it today. I don't think they use this anymore. They just use our calendar, but it is what it is. Now, because of this thing that I've told you, we know how to work out their clock. It was about the sixth hour after 6 in the morning. So what time is it? 6 in the morning plus 6 hours is 12 o'clock. Jesus dies exactly 12 o'clock. Exactly that time. The darkness comes over the land till the 9th hour, 3 o'clock. Now we see. Thales, in his third book of histories, explains the 3 hours of darkness. Now don't forget, you can't hide 3 hours of darkness. Everyone's writes about it all over the world. Okay? 3 hours of darkness is something very serious that you would notice. So, he says, as an eclipse of the sun, unreasonably as it seems to me. Why? It's impossible to have an eclipse of the sun that day. Remember, people are always trying to make natural reasons for the miracles God did. Oh, he wasn't really blind. Oh, they crossed because there was a tidal wave, and all these excuses they make for the miracle. The Hebrews celebrate the Passover on the 14th day. The Passion of our Saviour falls the day before, the 13th. The Solar, the 13th, on the Thursday. According to the moon, the Passion of our Saviour was the day before the Passover, but an eclipse of the sun takes place when the moon comes under the sun. It cannot happen at any other time, but in the interview of the first day of the new moon and the last day of the old. Okay, he's right. It wouldn't be right. So, how should an eclipse occur when the moon is almost diametrically opposed to the sun? You can't have an eclipse. It's exactly opposite. God did that on purpose. If this is the earth and the moon is this side and the sun is this side, you can't have the eclipse. It cannot go dark. It's impossible. It was the exact opposite. God showing another miracle. I will make darkness when there cannot be any darkness. I am in control. Now, day before was the 13th. Okay. Remember what it said. At the time he was crucified, there was darkness over the world. The sun being darkened in the middle of the day. This is impossible. It cannot happen. The stars appearing, but in them also appeared no luster. The moon as if turned into blood. At night time, when it's night, you can still see the stars, especially here in Cyprus. They couldn't see the stars. Israel is only that way. It's the same equator line as us. How comes we couldn't see the stars? It's a special kind of night, a special kind of darkness. She failed in her light, and in that terror, dead men were seen that had risen. Do you know who wrote this? Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate was writing about the miracle. As the Jews themselves testified, the fear of the earthquake remained From the 6th hour of the preparation till the 9th. The earthquake lasted a long time. Is he repeating what I'm saying? He's a clever boy. He's a very clever boy. I like it that when he's preaching, he comes to the front and he points. His ears listening, yeah. Now, proving the earthquake. Okay? We know that the earthquake happened because the geologists can see the exact time. When there's an earthquake, you see the ground looks different. Yeah, so you mix, when it rains, all the soil mixes and you get metal, you get this, you get that. During an earthquake, you get one type of dirt. You see it there. The geologist knows the year, exactly 33 AD, there was an earthquake. We prove the exact things that happened at Jesus' death. Now, all these miracles to say this. We've done this one before, this slide before, and some of them are borrowed from an old sermon, but just to get the timing right. I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men to me. I'm being crucified so that when people see these miracles, they will now come to Jesus. You see, for us to win, you know, in the Hollywood films, if you want to win, you pick up a bazooka and you fire at everyone and the machine gun them down and stuff like that. I love that film Commando. You know, Arnie's killing everyone, all the bad guy stuff. To us, this is how you win. This is the human brain. I want my enemies to suffer and be ripped apart and suffer. Stop. This is how you win. This is what he did. And it won. All men were drawn to him. How many churches there are? How many Christians there are? Christianity didn't get wiped out like they said. It spread. The people that met Jesus were sort of on the fence. But if the bad guy suffers, people feel sorry for him. They become more Christian. Now, why? So their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. All this has to happen for an offering to God. God, all the sins of the world, we're going to put on Jesus and get rid of them. Now, this comes from this. This is the covenant I will make with them after those days. It was saying in the Old Testament, there will be this new covenant, okay? I'll put my laws into their hearts and into their minds will I write them. Their sins and iniquities I'll remember no more. Now, this is the part I wanted to tell you about. And you can help me out. Now, where the remission of these sins is, there is no more offering for sin. There's no more offering for sin. So, what country is it where the women put the plastic bags on and crawl to the monastery? In Cyprus? Dinos. Yeah. They put rags on their knees and they crawl to the monastery. But there's no more offering for sin. You've wasted your time. But that's not how you humble yourself. But I'm pretty sure they feel they have to do it. You feel, but you're not following the Bible. Remember you said it happens in the Philippines as well. They crucified. They crucify themselves. But there's no more offering for sin. They sacrifice themselves for Jesus because Jesus sacrificed for them. But this was the point. Yeah. I'll do it for you. You're not helping me. I thought it was just Brazil, but it obviously happens in the There's no point, that's right. Okay, where was we? Now, for the bodies of those beasts whose blood is brought into the sanctuary by the high priest for sin are burned without the camp. Remember what we said at the beginning. The offerings for sin, they're burnt outside the camp because, that way the sin's outside the camp. Wherefore Jesus also, okay, remember what he said, he might sanctify the people, separate the people. He got rid of the sin outside the camp. Now, like Jesus, the Bible says, let us go forth. We should go forward like Jesus did outside. Danny, get away from there. Let us go forth unto him. Let's go forth to Jesus, bearing his reproach. Now, the camp is where you feel safe, right? In your camp, you've got friends, you've got your family, you've got these things. For here we have no continuing city. We seek one to come. We're going to leave the comfort and the safety out to go out into the world like Jesus did. Now, he stood up. He didn't want to follow the crowd, so they killed him. He didn't want to conform, so they killed him. His family were against him at one point. There was just, what can you do? You have to do that. You have to leave the camp. You have to leave your safety. Sometimes it means going against your family, your parents. It means going against your children. It means going against. It's very, very difficult for us to leave our safety zone to do the right thing. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to God continually. That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks. We could stop moaning. Give thanks. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifices, God is well pleased. Now we're going to do an example from the Bible. How many people should we have called to see if they're all right? Especially now it's free. How many people should we have reached out to? Especially now that it's free. How much did it used to cost to call Cyprus? A lot of money. 40 pence an hour. That trolley, he's mad about that trolley. Okay, so don't give, now, we're going to do an example that shows what can happen. Jesus changed the minds of the people by being crucified. He brought a lot of people to him by being crucified. Difficult to understand how and why, but it worked. God has a very strange way of doing things to us. My ways are not your ways. What's the problem? Give him the toy. Give him some toys. Give him toys. Christian, take a toy. Give him a toy. All right, give him a toy. He runs off rather than give him a toy. All right, all right. Well, split the toys up. We don't want a big fight. Okay. Now, here's the crowd. As they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him. And behold, two blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus passed by, cried out, saying, have mercy on us, O Lord, thou son of David. Okay? The crowd. Okay? Now, how many pastors have got a huge church but don't care about the people in it? They've got their multitude, right? They're famous enough. Go to Yaya. Go to Yaya. Go to Yaya. Quick, quick, quick. We can't be tricked. He can't be tricked easily. We've tried. Okay. The multitude rebuked them. Okay. The multitude do not want to, they don't have time for these blind men. Go to Yaya. Go to Yaya. Go to Yaya. He's trying to help me. Come get him. Come get him. Go over there. Come on. Look, Yaya's going. That worked. That works. Okay, so the multitude don't have time. We've got a good thing going. We've got what we want. We don't have time for these two blind people. And if you look, the two blind men are sitting by the wayside. They're sitting by, who cares? They're discarded people. You throw something into the gully over there, like you wouldn't care. We've got our multitude. You're just stopping. There's a good thing happening here. Why are you slowing us down with these two blind men? They're in the wrong. The multitude is wrong. But watch how Jesus changes the multitude. Okay? But they cried more. Have mercy on us, thou son of David. They didn't give up. Jesus stood still, called them and said, what would you that I do for you? What would you like? Now, Jesus has got the multitude, but he cares about the two people in the ditch that are blind. Do we do that? When we've got everything we want, we kind of forget about God, right? We stop praying. We've got what we want. We stop praying. We stop caring about other people. We're okay. I've got a big house and a big car and 20,000 coming in a year and 60,000 coming in, and I have this and I have my sports car and all this stuff. They feel like they don't need God anymore. Now, this is a test. Jesus doesn't give in to this. He says, what would you that I should do to you? Now, Jesus is a clever guy, and he knows people's hearts. Why is he asking them what they would have? It's a very good question. I was speaking with Pastor Smiley about this yesterday. He wanted me to put this in the sermon and link it to him. Okay? Why is Jesus saying to two blind men, what would you that I do for you? There's two reasons. The first one is to see what they ask for. Now, if you're a blind man, you could ask for some bread because I can't reach for the bread. You could ask for some more, maybe some money, so you could pay someone to look after you. What do these people do? They said unto him, Lord, that our eyes may be opened. He's testing to see what they ask for. How many of us ask for small things instead of big things? I'm not saying be greedy. I'm saying believe that God can do anything. Okay? So Jesus had compassion with them. Okay? Touched their eyes, immediately they received their sight and they followed him. Now, this is why you need different gospels, because this is actually in three gospels. But you see here, in the Luke one, it tells you what happened afterwards. Immediately received his sight, they followed him, glorifying God, and all the people gave praise to God when they saw it. When the person who's leading does a good thing, the people following do it as well. See how it works? If Jesus carried on, now Jesus had nothing to gain. He had nothing to win from these people. They can't repay him. How can you repay someone for that? And blind men, there's lots of them back then. There's no hospital. There's no opticians. There's no, anything. Now, I was blind for 3 days and I remember it. There was a small, most people that are blind, only 4% of them are really blind. The rest of them have got really bad eyesight. Like I had 2 white lines, and if I lifted my eyes up, I could see people just about, very blurry. So I was like that for 3 days. And let me tell you something. All you want is someone to help you see the food, someone help you do this, someone help you do that. It's very difficult. Now, these days, you've got a lot of blind people, no hospitals, like I said, okay? How grateful are they? Imagine what you've just received. Now, here's another question. If these people were never blind, ever, would they have followed Jesus? Julie got it straight away. It wouldn't happen straight away. Sometimes your tribulation actually helps you focus, bring you back to God. Oh, your car's broken now. Oh no, I'm not going to wash it every single day. I've seen that. I've seen people obsessed with their cars. You get in the car, it goes, don't touch this and don't touch that. And don't, I'll get a taxi, Yeah, see, that's it. Have you ever been have you ever been to someone's house and they give you a drink and they put a coaster underneath it and you've got to sit and this is plastic here and this is and you're sitting there, you're thinking to someone, I don't feel comfortable here. I want to leave. I've been in houses. I've actually left people's houses for making me like that. Okay? Jesus didn't feel uncomfortable with these people. He still made time for these people. Christians should make time for these people. That's what it says in the Bible. I should have put it in. If you have a feast, like us here, okay? If you have a feast, invite the poor. We happen to be the poor at the moment, but say we weren't, okay? You should invite the poor, the needy, those people that no one else wants to invite. Why? Because like Jesus, you see what I mean? When he talks to Simon Peter, he says to him, do you love me more than these other apostles? He says, you know I do. And remember, Jesus knew that he knows your heart, knows what you think and stuff like that. So he says to him 3 times, feed my sheep, feed my sheep. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, why would you repeat something to someone 3 times? I mean, when someone does that to me, it's really annoying. I hate it when someone repeats something to me. But then you understand. For Jesus to say something 3 times is very, very important. It's very, very important.
He's reminding you not to forget. So
not to forget the poor.
More than 3 times, I think it's annoying word.
More than 3 times it's 3's okay. 3's okay. But that's how you see it. So they gave praise to God for 2 reasons. First, you've seen a miracle. But second, that Jesus had time for people that other people forget about. I was a person that Mark should have forgot about at the church. I was, a terrible life, terrible type of life anyway. Straight to hell I was going. Okay? But he never, you know what Mark did? He used to call me every 3 months, right? Not every day, not 3 times a day, stuff like that. He used to call me every 3 months. Hi, Mario, how are you? You need to get baptized. I've been baptized. I'm a Greek Orthodox. I'm baptized. 3 months again. How was it won over? Well, I didn't have any food. I was very poor, remember? Who remembers? Did you come visit me in Paphos when I was living there? Ah, it wasn't you, it was some other girls. They came from the church and they brought me food, and I had no food. I was that poor. I was stealing lemons from someone's tree to get by. Yeah, it's true, it's true. And I just had no food. I had no food at all. And the people would pay me peanuts money for work that I do, advanced IT work. and they would give me something like $2.50 an hour. They would take advantage of me in Paphos because there was no IT jobs there. Imagine getting $2.50 an hour. This was terrible. But what happened? Because Mark was bringing me food, when I saw it, who does that? Who gives up their time for you? Mark had a special child. He had a job, a wife, a family. When did he have time for me? And in the mornings, he was preaching at a church. So the day before he was doing what I do, you spend Saturday writing the sermon. Then in the morning, he would come and he would give a sermon in my house. I had a house in Buffalo, so it's my sister's now, but I had a house there, and they said, can we use it as a church? That's what happened. That's how the church was giving me, the women would come and clean my house in the morning. I was dying. I had no food, no nothing. They would come clean my house and just to use it for a church. Then on top of that, they would cook me great food. That's when I was getting into Filipino food. It was really good. They used to give me that pork. They used to do this thing with a pork head and stuff like that. Anyway, they used to cook for me. Now I had food. What else did I have? I would listen to the sermon. Whatever God did to me to keep me in that situation saved my life. Saved my life. Remember when you was giving him food to take me up there? I'm okay now. Limassol has lots of IT jobs, but it's not the point. God took me from that place because there was a reason and a purpose. Now, all that to say this. When you do something good for other people, the people that see it will change. They will say, look at this Christian person. Look at Vilma. Look at Manny. Look at Jonah. They're so Christian. Now, for the people watching, don't let Satan fill you with pride so much that you don't help people, especially Easter. I remember we should do it again. But remember we had a Christmas party here and poor people came. Do you remember there was poor people, even the woman next door? Well, she stole all our food, but do you remember she walked out with like trays and trays of the food that we bought for other people? But I didn't care. We had many more trays. What happened? I felt amazing. The feeling was unbelievable. You're feeding poor people. And they saw and they said, God bless the church, God bless the thing, God bless that, God bless the other. There was blessings all over the time. They praised God like it says here, glorifying God through you. And that's the Easter message. That's a serious Easter message. Now, let's pray. My Lord in heaven, praise be to you for the things we've seen. Lord, block our path with angels if we're going the wrong way. We praise you for that and thank you for that. Lord, let us be Christians that never forget you. Let us call the people we're supposed to call. Let us reach out to the people we're supposed to reach out to. Let us never be lazy Christians. For us, the people watching and other people, let's remember Jesus in that way at Easter. Glory to his name. Amen. For those watching, God bless you. Have a happy Easter, and we'll see you next week.